Hello again, everybody. Zacatech is here with my WWE Raw review for this Monday, January 21st of 2019 from the Chesapeake Energy Arena. Weird name. These are the Little Caesars Arena. In Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The last Raw before the Royal Rumble. I did not make a review last week. I did watch Raw on Monday. It's probably one of the best Raws in recent memory. With a lot of craziness, with some sexiness on both Raw and SmackDown, with the Mandy Rose thing on SmackDown, and Alexa was being caught with a brawl on, almost showing her boobs before a Moment of Bliss segment. We also had a new Intercontinental Champion crown, and a lot of crazy stuff went down, including the main event for Raw at the Rumble changing. I'll get to that when we get to the opening segment. So after that crazy Raw, and amidst people asking for their release for the last couple of days, with Ziggler apparently gone, Reviver asking for a release, Mike Kanellis was rumored to ask for his release, which was denied by his wife on social media. So with all that going on, and all these new faces are popping up too, through both brands. Because I saw Nikki Cross on Raw last week saying, dang it, she needs to be on SmackDown with Sanity, but they're flip-flopping between both before they make their full decision of which brand they're going to stick with on a full scale. So after all that, Raw tonight was okay. Some good stuff. Main event, it's interesting to have Wanda main event Raw again. Kind of anticlimactic, but still. Okay, little Raw to hype us up for the Rumble for the most part. And set up some future feuds post-Rumble. So after that, a segment involving Martin Luther King and his MLK Day, after all, here in America, honoring the memory of the late, great civil rights activist who I admire when I was a kid. I still do admire MLK for what he stands for, especially in this day and age. There was a lot of mentions of MLK throughout the evening, including promos from Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins later on. It's interesting that a guy make a speech about MLK who has burned it down in his theme song, knowing the civil rights movement and all that. Moving on. We will begin Raw proper after that opening video with Brock Lesnar, the Universal Champion, at least showing up for something, to be accompanied, of course, by the only good thing he has, his advocate, Paul Heyman, addressing the last-minute change in his Royal Rumble match. Now, as we all know, he was supposed to face Braun Strowman, but amidst rumors of him getting not cleared in time for his match against Lesnar because of his elbow surgery last month, or the fact that they were going to do Balor and Lesnar anyway, to just advertise Braun and Lesnar to get tickets. Maybe the same thing they did with Cena, because now he's apparently injured and out of the Rumble. Get to my thoughts on that later on. But anywho, Heyman was putting over Finn so that everyone now believes in him, because Finn won a fatal 4-way last week and having to beat Jinder Mahal for the 1 billionth time to get his spot still in that fatal 4-way, and then winning it by pinning Cena. Clean, may I add. And I haven't Cena volunteered. So I make fun of, and many people like myself make fun of Cena, calling him Super Cena for burying talent, but at least he finally got Balor over. So as Paul Heyman was verbally putting Balor over, saying everyone now believes in Balor. Now I believe in you too, Balor, that you're going to step up to face the Beast. But you're going to be a martyr. Martyr for all the sins the fans have been cheering you. You're going to be a martyr. You know, be punished and all this stuff. So, as he was putting down Balor, which I mean will be just regular Balor, no Demon Balor. Well, he knew he was going to lose before, but there's better chance of him losing now. Speaking of chance, there's no chance in hell music hit, and here comes Vince McMahon talking to Paul and Lesnar about the situation. Talking about David and Goliath, calling Balor David. And making fun of the hillbillies in Oklahoma. He is a hillbilly in real life. If you look up history, Vince McMahon was born in the South. And Balor would interrupt, and so would Braun Strowman interrupting. Not happy that he got punished. Now, the storyline reason of him being taken out and not being in the match against Lesnar was he wrecked Vince McMahon's limo after chasing after Baron Corbin last week. being fined $100,000, and then eventually lifting over the limo. I don't know how it was done, probably with some maneuvering, but it was still a great moment to see Braun destroying things. Once again, it's always fun when Braun destroys things. And he wants to destroy Finn Balor. So we got to see Finn Balor against Braun Strowman again. We had somewhat of a rematch at Palooza night. Not as bad as before. Because you've seen these two wrestle before, but it's been a few months, and it wasn't shoved down our throat like other rematch stuff. It's interesting that they could clear Braun for this match, yet not get him clear for the woman match against Lesnar. But I said there might have been another reason he was taken out, besides the elbow injury, was they just wanted him to sell tickets, for whatever reason. But it was okay little match. Finn trying to overcome the big strength and height advantage of Braun, doing his big moves, the big slams, and those big shoulder tackles on the outside. Now, nothing against Finn, but I think we all agree, to paraphrase the great Carly Simon, when it comes to those shoulder tackles, nobody sells them better than Kevin Owens. He's the best at taking Braun's shoulder tackles on the outside. And I can't wait to see him return eventually. I'm not certain when he's returning. I'm hearing maybe after Mania, but when Owens does come back, can't wait to see Raw become the Kevin Owens show again. Anyway, after those tackles, but then when they come back, some big moves of Sling Blade and drop kick and all that, Lesnar stood around ringside for a bit and kind of got into Balor's face as Braun and Finn were fighting on the outside. He got in Lesnar's face, even drop kicking him once. Got back in the ring, took down Braun. He was going for the coup de grace. He nailed it. But just as he was about to pin Braun, Lesnar came storming in, delivered an F5 to Finn Balor to end the segment. So we had a no contest, basically, or Braun wins by DQ. Or should I say, Finn wins by DQ. Protects both guys from getting pinned, especially Finn for getting pinned, before eventually getting pinned by Lesnar on Sunday. Or they're going to pull the upset, have Finn pin Braun. But the chances of Finn winning the match against Lesnar are less likely than seeing referees in the NFL make good calls. Anyway, one of many NFL referee jokes I'm going to make tonight. So, brace yourselves for that. Make another joke about the referees in the NFL, especially the championship game, later. Warning you now, there will be a joke. Another one. So, there you go. Okay, little match to start off here, getting Balor some momentum, even though he technically won. He got taken out by Lesnar. So, see how he fares this Sunday against Lesnar. Lesnar's done well against small guys. Like, whenever you see Lesnar taking a small guy, everyone fears the worst. Like me, like, oh my God, he's going to fucking squash him. Like, murder him. Like what happened with AJ Styles in Survivor Series in 2017. Especially when he was signed to take on Daniel Bryan, knowing his history of concussions. And knowing Lesnar's history of giving concussions. But his match against D-Bryan and his match against AJ were some of his best in years. He can do well with small guys. I really personally asked to have Finn be his opponent at the Rumble. So, curious to see how this match turns out from Chase Field in Phoenix. I'm as interested in seeing how the setup's going to be in a baseball stadium. We haven't seen Mania. We haven't seen a WWE pay-per-view in a baseball stadium since Mania 19 in Seattle, Washington. But that was a dome stadium. This is an open stadium. Now we will continue on with a segment involving the new Intercontinental Champion. Keep on saying that. The almighty Bobby Lashley. So Ambrose is only champion for a month, huh? Anywho, he was accompanied, as usual, by his advocate / manager, hype man. What do you want to call him? Leo Rush. I did like his all-white outfit, that white hoodie that said the almighty. And I love it said, Lashley, Leo, Lashley. You saw it on the back of his hoodie. They did a little celebration for Lashley winning, doing a couple poses, interrupted by Apollo Crews. I'm happy he's being pushed around a little bit in the main roster after an up and down start in the company, being rushed to main roster from NXT. I still believe it was too soon for him to come in. He did have an IC title match against Dean Ambrose a few weeks ago and looked pretty good in it. And now showing him some personality in a possible feud against Lashley. And Lashley, through his manager, Leo Rush, said, how about we have a pose down? So we had a pose down. I hope I'm not the only one who's going to mention this. It's kind of weird to have this superpose down, knowing we are a week away from the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, which 30 years ago included a superpose down. Ironically, also involving the Intercontinental Champion, Ultra Roy against Rick Rude in a superpose down. So it's kind of interesting. I hope I'm not the only one to mention it. That gets the significance of having this pose down happen before the Rumble, especially the 30th anniversary of the first Rumble that was a pay-per-view. The first Rumble was in '88, but that was on USA. And during that first Rumble pay-per-view, they had a superpose down as well, involving the Intercontinental Champion. And like that segment at the Rumble 30 years ago, it ended with Lashley beating down Apollo after Apollo was doing poses, including the most muscular. Another pose they did doing that superpose down. But instead of spray, if they really want to reenact the superpose down from the Rumble 30 years ago, they're going to have Leo Rush spray Lashley's opponent Apollo in the face with some spray like Heenan did the Warrior. But they didn't go that route. Instead, Lashley beat down Apollo, which led towards a match. That was the setup. The super pose down was a setup for the match, saying that if Apollo would win this pose down, he would get a match against Lashley. Non-title. So we had a match with these two, non-title. Good match. Apollo looked good with his high-flying stuff, his flippy-floppy stuff looking good against Lashley, despite numerous distractions from Leo Rush, even getting into the ring at one point, eventually being forced in the ring by Apollo. And after some Matrix-type shit, with his little fast moves, Leo eventually did get caught by Apollo, lifting him up for a possible gorilla press. But as Leo was in midair, Lashley would get back up and nail Apollo with the spear. Hey, with Apollo gone, with a woman gone, someone's got to use his finisher. And Lashley's been using it. He won the Intercontinental Championship with a spear. And he beat Apollo with the spear, saving his manager from getting slammed off the body of Apollo with the press. 1, 2, 3 victory for Lashley with a little help from Leo. Oh, he got by with a little help from Leo. Little musical references today, matching the Colin Simon and the Beatles. That's what happens when I'm an old soul who happens to be a DJ and a wrestling fan at the same time. So, okay, match. I think it's great to see Apollo still in the IC title picture. That they didn't just have him face the Intercontinental Champion once and just go away again, not being used. I'm surprised he hasn't asked for his release yet, like everybody else has. But nice to see him feuding with Lashley for a bit. They will both be in the, I think, well, especially Lashley will be in the Rumble. And after his match against Apollo taking him down, which I think we'll see him wrestle again, this time for the championship, especially with Leo's involvement, costing Apollo the match. Here comes Seth Rollins, facing Lashley a little bit before he spoke on the microphone in preparation for the Rumble in his scheduled match against the Scottish Cyborg, or Psychopath, as some people, many nicknames, like Seth Rollins. He is a man of many names. He is the Architect, the Man. The original guy who said the Man, not Becky Lynch. Need to say that. And Seth freaking Rollins. So I mentioned he talked about MLK for a bit. Mentioned some MLK quotes before aiming towards. It's interesting. I love this promo, but it kind of contradicts what they've been doing lately with him trying to be all fired up because Triple H wants the Seth freaking Rollins again, his fire and desire again. With his little promo, kind of contradicts it, but it was still a great promo from Seth about his humble beginnings. Now he's ready to win the Rumble, but he was confronted verbally by Drew McIntyre. There was a funny sign. I don't know if anyone saw it. Reba is the only McIntyre around here because Raw is in Oklahoma, where country music is prominent. South is very country heavy. And Reba is from Oklahoma. And Reba sung the national anthem once at Mania 8. One of my favorite Manias. One of my top 10 favorite Manias. Anywho, the match was on. Drew and Seth. It was kind of another semi-rematch because we've seen these two wrestle a bunch of times. But at least we didn't see this match as often as we did Seth and Dolph in their feud. So them faced like a billion times. But we seen these guys wrestle doing that long and winding feud with Seth and Dolph. Insert Drew and Dean in it as well. Doing their feud over the tag belts. But it's still a fun match. There were some very interesting spots. One of the scary was Seth and Drew was on the outside for a bit, then Seth got back in the ring. He was going for like a big splash from the top rope, top turnbuckle, and then he fell onto the ground, throat first into a barricade, being shoved into the barricade, throat first by Drew, countering it. I also liked when Drew was tied in the Tree of Woe, and they did a big move to Seth from that position, so that was cool as well. So, fun action, great spots, great back and forth action with these two guys. They are great workers, and showing you why they are the two favorites, at least on the Raw side of things, for the men's Royal Rumble this Sunday. The Raw's came back with some big moves, including Falcon Arrow, super kick, trying to set up for the stump, but then a big Glasgow kiss, knocking both guys out, delivered by Drew, including, after that, a sit-down powerbomb. But then after that, Rollins would come back with a roll-up, surprise roll-up, and 1-2-3 victory for Seth Rollins. So there you go. Seth gets victory, giving himself momentum for the Rumble match this Sunday. Like I said, he's a favorite on the Raw side of things. SmackDown side of things when it comes to the Rumble. On the main side of things, it's tough to say who's a favorite. If AJ Styles loses, he'll probably be in it. But we'll see what goes down in that match Sunday. But it was still a fun match. These two had a good outing. Rollins gets a victory. Now on to our next match. Jinder Mahal and the Singh brothers actually wrestling in a 6-man tag against Lucha House Party. Lucha House Party. At least it wasn't Lucha House Rules. Nice to see Singh brothers actually wrestle. Is this the first time they've had wrestle? Well, we've seen them wrestle in individual matches, especially the AJ Styles Jinder feud. When Jinder was relevant and was champion, who would have thought you'd say that? But we never seen them in tag matches. They got their butts kicked. It was a good match, but there was a little sloppiness, especially the ending kind of felt sudden. With Madeline getting a win over the Singh brother. I think someone's going to pick up the count. Like, it felt kind of, I don't think that was the right ending. It didn't feel like that was supposed to be the finish. It kind of felt like abrupt. It was like an abrupt finish to the match after Madeline got the pin. There was some confusion there. So I think they botched the ending of this match. That's what I feel like. I'm not the only one who feels that way. I saw that on social media as well. On to our next affair, Elias coming out. Singing a little song about the Rumble competitors because he's in the Rumble match. But then we had Baron Corbin coming out. We had another Baron Corbin Elias. He sang a song saying like all of us, we're going to see this match again. We match a Palooza 3! Sort of tonight. And then we had this match again. I thought I was going to do a 50-50 booking because I think we had this match a few weeks ago. And if I'm not mistaken, surprisingly, Baron Corbin won that one. I thought 50-50 bookings coming and Elias is going to win. Get back some heat back after losing to Corbin a few weeks ago. But sadly, despite Elias' big moves, including old school at one point, making people feel putting more fuel in the fire of the possible Taker induction to the WWE Hall of Fame that might have got spoiled today in an email to WWE Network subscribers promoting WWE superstars on the network. I'm talking about the old superstars, not the new one. I'm talking about the old 90s one. They need to get some 80s ones in there, but gotta add some hours from 92 in there. And that email said, see, 20 hours of superstars with WWE Hall of Famers, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. He's not in the Hall of Fame yet. Might have been spoiled, like I said, but despite Elias' best efforts, there was a little referee distraction. Referee got distracted for a bit. And that gave Corbin the opportunity to deliver cheap shot, chop blocks in the throat to Elias, leading up to the end of days, and the 1-2-3 victory for Corbin. Give you some momentum. Need some momentum after being the butt of every joke on Raw the last month and a half when he was GM. So, there you go. On with our third week of the Moment of Bliss. And I love Bliss. She's my favorite. One of my favorites. Not just because she shares a birthday with me, August 9th, but she's a good talker. But every time she's been promoted to do a big, long promo, it fails. Whether it's Bailey's This Is Your Life or Moment of Bliss has been missed. So this one, we had Bliss talking about the Royal Rumble match, talking about the competitors, which were revealed on social media. A little cameo for my brother here. No, he's looking for stuff. A little cameo for my brother Max. No cameo. He doesn't do much camera stuff. Anyway, she was promoting the Rumble match. She invited her guest, Nia Jax. Before Nia talked, thank God she got interrupted because Nia's promos have been up and down by a bunch of people. Ember Moon and Mickey James, Alicia Fox. We had the Wyatt Squad come out. Nikki Cross, Dana Brooke. We had like basically almost the entire Raw Women's roster. And Bliss was trying to get control, and then they had a little brawl. All the way we got into a brawl and walked to the back. So the moment was kind of a waste of time, but there was one good thing about this. Bliss announced that she herself will be in the Rumble match, which means she's finally cleared. Yeah! Bliss has been out with concussion-like symptoms for the last 5 months after her match against Rousey, her rematch at Hell in a Cell, forcing her to miss out on Evolution, especially her big match against Trish Stratus, being changed into a tag match, and then she got taken out the entire match completely. So let's see Bliss back. I mean, excuse me, reading that she's been fine to get back to health after coming back a little bit too early from her first concussion. That's what she said, that he was taking it easy on her, and now she's in the Rumble match. She's back to wrestle. Then Lacey Evans came out and interrupted her. Good promo. Kind of a scripted promo, but still a good promo. Talking about the nasty women. And I loved what she called Bliss a spoiled, bratty wunt. And she's my other favorite. I like Lacey. I wonder how she's going to do a main roster. But I liked her working NXT. I love her as a heel. She was okay face, but I thought she really thrived as a heel. Great worker as a heel. Decent wrestler. And I love her finish, the women's ride. So I can't wait to see her handle herself a main roster. Speaking of NXT call-ups, we had another NXT call-up debut tonight. In the ring, we saw Nikki Cross debut on Raw last week because it wasn't her first main roster match. We saw it against Becky Lynch a few months ago. We saw Heavy Machinery tonight. Bang! Take on the Revival's fellow NXT team that got fucked on main roster, the Ascension. Now, they should have had this match to somebody else to get buried. But hey, love Heavy Machinery. My other favorite teams from NXT recently. If you see my NXT review from the house show that happened in September in Royal Oak, talk about how I had a little interaction with Heavy Machinery. I had a sign with their catchphrase, stakes and weights. And at the end of the match, Tucker Knight took my sign from me and held it up after they won the match. And that was a good moment. I had an interaction with them. So it's on my channel, a review for that show. I'm not going to NXT in March. I'm taking a break. I'm going to, yeah, punch me if you want, but I'm going to Impact Wrestling taping in March. Well, I can't believe I'm saying that. I'm going to see Impact Wrestling taping in March in Canada. Windsor, Canada. At St. Clair College, where they taped that. I was going to go to taping in June, but I was busy. So I'm going to see this taping in March. I'm starting to watch Impact again, full-time basis again, on the new channel Pursuit. Now that I'd say that, and I think Impact's been doing good. You know, I've been hearing the buzz about Impact being great again. There's some good people on there I've been loving, especially on Lucha Underground. So I decided, hey, if they're on Lucha, they're on here, watching them. Especially Pentagon, Cielo Miedo, and Phoenix. You know, complete the trifecta. I've been to a SmackDown, I've been to a Raw, I've been to a Nitro, and now I'm going to finally go to an Impact taping. But back to the business at hand. Heavy Machinery against Revive, the Ascension, should I say. Decent match here. Showed up. Heavy Machinery's big strength, and of course the comedy. Especially Otis Dozovic doing the Caterpillar. Double team finish. Victory for Heavy Machinery. Should have been handed. This match should have been given to another team to get buried. Should have been Heath Slater and Rhino's job to do the job, not Ascension. So, there you go. That's my only little quip. But nice to see Heavy Machinery. They got over with the fans. Kind of a comedy act. We've seen Otis on Moment of Bliss last week and heard him interacting with Becky Lynch last week in a great little opening salvo of SmackDown. So, see how they do a main roster and what brand they'll eventually go to. Now on to another tag match involving, we had lots of tags tonight. I think like, 5 tag matches tonight, it felt like? Or maybe 4. Because we had a 6-man tag, and a couple regular 2-on-2 tags. Raw Tag Team titles on the line again as Revival. Times getting screwed over in one of their release, taking on Jack Gable and Bobby Roode with a special assigned referee of all people, Kurt Hawkins. I was okay a little tag match if had better, especially a lumberjack match, but still okay action with Revival. Every time they tried to get a pin, they cheated every time. They had the ropes at one time, and every time they did underhanded tactics to win, they were caught by Kurt Hawkins. At least there was some referees out there who can detect bad calls and actually notice them and call them on it. Call them on bad calls. Unlike NFL referees in championship games. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? God, some screwiness in those games, especially involving the Saints and the Rams. Noticeably. Pass interference call. Lions send their sympathy to you, Saints. We've been there. Lions fans got screwed over. Lions got screwed over on a pass interference no call as well in a game against Dallas and the Rams a couple years ago. Too bad they still suck now. Anyway, so with all this going on with Hawkins, Cardi, noticing, he caught Revival in the act every time they try to cheat their way to win. And with that going on, Chad Gable and Bobby Roode would capitalize with the pin and the victory. Revival gets screwed over once again. First, one guy got tagged. Then, foot underneath the rope. And referee didn't see it. And then got screwed over by an underhanded little pissy referee. And after the match, they took out all their anger and all the frustration backstage and wanted their release from the company, all on Kurt Hawkins. Beating him down before Zack Ryder finally making an appearance on Raw, saving his former Edgehead / Major Brother tag team partner. So we have a reunion of sorts. So, if this means Zack Ryder's on Raw more, yay, more Zack Ryder. More Ryder on Raw. Woo, woo, woo. You know it. Put this on. I still got this. I still got this headband, man. I'm still a post-game. You know what I mean? I even wore this to Astronomicon last year at Comic-Con, and I had a Zack Ryder shirt too, and cosplayed as a low-rent cosplay, but still. And Booker T was at least Booker T, I met him there, and he was the only one that recognized me and recognized who I was cosplaying. So that was kind of cool. So I'm gonna keep this on, and I don't know why to be back on Wall, but fuel. Speaking of adding fuel to the fire, with Revival losing tonight, add more fuel to the fire about them being released and going to AEW. Now on to our main event, another tag match. Ronda Rousey teaming up with Natalya to take on the women who might be challenging for the World Tag Team, not the World Tag Team, but the Women's Tag Team Championships. They unveiled the belts. Love the belt design. At least they're not the same damn designs for. At least it was a unique design, not copying a belt like they currently have, like having the Women's Championship turn into something else. But I love the new tag belt design. They're going to have a Women's Tag Team Elimination Chamber. That's going to be awesome on February 17th. 3 teams from Raw, 3 teams from SmackDown. So at least it's going to be multi-branded. But how's it going to be defended? Is it going to be like both champions, the champions is going to defend on both brands? They haven't addressed that yet. About how the championship is going to work when it comes to being defended on both brands. If it's a multi-brand title. The only one in existence. But we had Sasha and Bayley. Of course, Sasha is going for another championship. The Raw Women's Championship this Sunday against Ronda Rousey. They did a little promo last week and a little bit of confrontation. And that's how we got to this match tonight. Especially after Natalya and Bayley lost. Well, they won a 6-woman tag with Nikki Cross last week. Despite the differences. So, okay, little tag match. A little sloppy in there. Ronda had a little brawl with Sasha a couple times. It was okay. Now I knew that Natty or Bayley was going to eat the pin. Or in Bayley's case, eat the submission. She would later, near towards the end, as everyone was brawling, especially Sasha going with big moves. Actually, Natalya. I'm sorry, Natalya was the one that ate the pin tonight, not Bayley. Natalya ate the submission, should I say. She ate the fake statement. So it was technically Ronda's first ever reported loss on WWE programming. But she never really lost. So This is her first loss, but she's never been pinned or submitted on the main roster. So there you go. This semi counts as a loss for Rousey. You know, her team lost. Her team lost the match, but Rousey did not lose the match. Natalya did. So what are they going to count that in the scheme of things of Rousey's undefeated streak and shit? So we had a little brawl between Sasha and Rousey with both Natalya and Bayley holding him back as we fade to black. So it's kind of like anticlimactic to have this. I love Rousey and all, but Rousey main eventing Raw in a tag match again. That's the best thing. You know what I mean? Exposes her a little bit. Her weaknesses. But she did okay in there. Her promo also before the match. She fumbled a bit on her words about how Sasha blah 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 blah. And I did like Sasha's promo as well before the match started. So they're trying to make this interesting. Trying to make Sasha more heelish. Like they've been trying to do and failed to have done in the last 12 months. Especially in her stupid feud with Bayley. That's now just a tag team thing. Unless Sasha finally turns heel on Bayley in Elimination Chamber. Kind of like almost like she did last year in the Chamber match, but never went anywhere. Because we did see her kind of screw Bayley over in the Chamber match last year for the Raw Women's Championship. But the feud never went anywhere, as we all know. So there you go. That's how we end Raw. That is it for my Raw review tonight. Thank you so much for watching. If you did not see my Raw review 2 weeks ago, I am not making a Raw review this Sunday. It'll be the first time in a lot of years I'm not making a Raw review. And I may take an extended break from YouTube for a while. I've been making YouTube videos for about 7 years now. Or 8 years now. Making attack lines and Raw reviews and stuff. And taking like an extended break from doing it. I took like maybe like 2 weeks off. Or 3 weeks off, I go on vacation, but not like a month or so. So I could take a little break. So I don't know if I'm going to make a Raw review or not next week. But there will not be a Raw review this Sunday because I got plans. I'm going to do music trivia that night. I will be watching Rumble, but I'm not making a Rumble review because my little policy is if I don't watch it live, I don't make a review. That's why you don't see me make SmackDown reviews. So there you go. With that in mind, you've been attacked by the review from Zach. See you later. Whenever I do. If I do at all. Bye-bye.